Hi everyone, Arlene here. Welcome back to my Country Craft Corner and Arlene's Travels. How in the world are you guys doing today? It is so good to see you, and thank you so much for coming back by to see what I'm up to. And what I'm up to today, Sam and I notice I'm kind of sitting a little bit to one side here. I thought y'all might like to take a peek at Sam. He is relaxed, what can I say? But I thought that I would come to you today and just chit chat with you guys and give you my Southern Caribbean Medley, 10-day Southern Caribbean Medley cruise report. We did this cruise with Princess Cruises, but I thought that I would come back and show you guys some pictures and talk about a little bit about travel and cruising and a little bit about our experiences with this cruise. So let's get started. Chris and I had planned this. Actually, let me show you a picture first. These ladies, I had made magnets out of this, and this is what I'll show you pictures of where we all hung these on the outside of our stateroom doors. If you all don't know this, the doors of your stateroom, at least on Princess Cruises, are metal, as are the walls in your staterooms, so that you can take magnets with you and hang things on your door. A lot of people hang decorations like for certain holidays if they go for Christmas, or we were there over St. Patrick's Day. I saw a lot of people do St. Patrick's Day, shamrocks and things like that. Well, I had made up this little magnet, and we all had these on our doors. Of course, this was a cruise that was planned by the four of us. We had met in the group that I administrate on Facebook, the Alaska Cruises on Princess, and at other cruising forums too. All three of them are also in other groups, as I am. And we became fast friends. We really did, all of us. These two are sisters. This is Barbara, this is Pat, and this one's name is Barbara. And then, of course, that's me. So we started planning this cruise back in October of 2016. And I know that date because Chris and I actually booked this cruise while we were on another cruise doing the Canada and New England cruise with Princess on the Regal Princess. But these ladies are I'm not gonna cry, I'm gonna try not to cry, very special to me, and I feel blessed and honored to have been on a cruise with them. And this one and I are gonna cruise again coming up in the future, and all four of us would like to do another cruise, just a ladies cruise without the hubbies. So we might be planning that. We might be doing we've talked about doing a California coastal starting in San Francisco, maybe. So we'll see. But I wanted to show you who we cruised with, at least the ladies. And I might show you some pictures of the gentlemen too as we go through this. So this magnet was on our doors. But anyway, let me start out by telling you about the day that Chris and I left to go on this cruise. Now this cruise, we embarked on this cruise in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Barbara lives in Florida. So she we flew in the day before. We flew on JetBlue, and guess what? JetBlue has Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. I didn't know that, so I was like a happy camper up there because I was able to respond to my video that went up that morning and all kinds of stuff. So, but anyway, we flew JetBlue, and we flew out of Richmond, Virginia, and it was only about 2-hour flight, about that. We flew into Fort Lauderdale. We had no issues at all. It was a lovely trip. And then we had to call it for transport. We stayed at the Spring Hill Suites by Marriott. That's where it was, in Fort Lauderdale. And I do have some pictures and maybe a little video clip of it right here that I'll put right here. Hi everyone, Arlene here. Welcome back to my Country Craft Corner and to Arlene's Travels. How is everybody doing today? I hope all is well with everyone. Well, Chris and I started our travels at about 3 a.m. from Spotsylvania, Virginia this morning. Drove to Richmond, climbed on a JetBlue plane, and we're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida by about 9:30 this morning. We got picked up at the airport by a shuttle, free shuttle, provided by this hotel, the Spring Hill Suites by Marriott. So it's very nice. So I thought I would give you a little tour. This will not take very long, but I thought I would give you a little tour. And they let us in our room at like 10 o'clock this morning. Honest to goodness, the room was ready when we walked in, and we were also able to have a little bit of their breakfast. They have a breakfast, kind of a buffet kind of thing down there in the lobby, and we were able to have that. All of my girlfriends are here well, one is coming from where she lives, south of here, later today, and two other ladies came in yesterday from California. But anyway, let me give you a quick tour. As you can see, let me walk out here real quick just to show you. We are on the 6th floor. They're still cleaning the rooms and stuff, see? From people checking out. And we are in room 615. It's very nice, very clean. And we have a couch. Is it a sleeper sofa? I don't know. Yes, it is. It's a sleeper sofa. So I guess it sleeps 4. Then we have our little desk area over here. It's very nice, free Wi-Fi. Little kitchen area here. We have a little refrigerator down here. They gave us 2 bottles of water when we came in, and we brought some yogurt up for later, for a little snack. And we got our goodies when we walked in. They gave us little goodie bags. And we each got 2 Oreo cookies and a bag of pretzels. There's a coffee maker, ice bucket. Don't know what floor the ice is on. Microwave down in there. Look at that. We have 1 TV, and I think it swivels. At least when I went to yeah, it does. It swivels. So if you're in the bed, you can watch it, or you can swivel it back this way, and if you're sitting on the couch, you can watch it. Now we're in trouble if one's in bed and one's on the couch. I'm not sure what we do, but hey, you know, these are not big problems. We have a nice king-size bed, closet area. I already have my little clothes picked out for tomorrow's outfit. I'm going to change into some capris here because it is lovely and warm out right now. We do have a lovely view of 95. And she did ask us before, when we checked in, if we minded this, and we said we did not care. We really did not care. We were only going to be here one night, and it did not matter what we were looking at. My head will not even hit that pillow because I haven't slept since yesterday morning. I did get a cat nap on the plane. Here's my outfit of the day. This was my traveling outfit. Just black slacks, black jacket, and a polka dotted shirt that has short sleeves so that I can take it off. I'm looking tired. Look. Anyway, here's the sink area. Little tissues, wastebasket, little towels. There's my toiletries for tomorrow morning. And here's the bathroom area. Fan included. It's very nice. Very, very, very nice. As you can see, we only stayed there one night, but it was a lovely, lovely accommodations. So we met, our plan was to get there, get settled in, and Barbara had to work that morning, so she got off at noon, and then she met us up at this hotel. So they got up there, and our very first meeting was really exciting. I'll tell you, I have a picture of us hugging. We had never met in person before. I'd never met any of these ladies in person before. And anybody who tells me that you cannot form friendships, true, lifelong, special, cherished friendships online is telling you a fib, because I certainly have many times over throughout the last decade that I've been on Facebook. I've met newfie friends that I know I'll have for a lifetime. And I've just met many people, you know. So Barbara and Pat had gotten there the day before, and Sam's gonna rub his face a little bit. And so they met us. Actually, we went and picked them up. We went to their hotel. Barbara had her car, and we went and we picked them up, and we took a water taxi ride through the Intercoastal Waterway. Wow, talk about some houses, you guys. Oh my gracious, it was awesome. It was awesome. And we got to spend time together, and we got to talk and hug, and oh my goodness, here's a picture of the four of us getting ready to get on the taxi. And then we got on the water taxi and did that, and that took a few hours really to do that. And then we came back to our hotels. We dropped Barbara and Pat off, and we went back to our hotel, and then we all met again for dinner that evening. And do you think I could remember the name? Dave and Buster's. That's where it was, Dave and Buster's. And we thought we would go. Apparently, if you all have ever been to a Dave and Buster's, you could go play like arcade games and stuff too. Well, we thought we might do that, but we ended up not. We were all so daggum tired, you know, by that evening. By the time we were finished eating, it was on to 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So we were ready to go, get back to our hotels and settle in for the evening and just, you know, relax before we got up the next morning to embark on our cruise. And so the next morning we got up, and we caught the hotel shuttle. It was we had to pay $10 a person. And we got on it was a motor coach bus. This was usually, to be honest with you, we do Princess Cruises transfers. And this hotel was not a hotel that Princess uses. In other words, as far as I know, they did not have a stop at this hotel when they go to pick up their folks. They only take people from hotels that they sponsor that you can, you know, book through them, as far as I know. I may be wrong on that, but I don't think so. I think I'm correct on that. If we ever do this again, we'll probably go ahead and book through Princess and take a Princess transfer, because this motor coach stopped at 5, including ours, 5 different hotels on our way over. Thank goodness that you could have picked 2 times, 9:30 or 9:45 pickup or 11:45 pickup, I believe. The ship sailed at like 4:30. So we went ahead and picked the earlier time because Chris and I are pretty high up in the Captain Circle loyalty program. We're platinum. And that's not something that I walk around saying, oh, I'm platinum, I'm platinum. You can be elite, which is higher than platinum. And I'm almost there. We're almost there. But it's like, you know, but anyway, we have priority boarding behind the elites, you know, so is 1 level higher than the platinum. So we knew once they opened the ship up that we would be able to get on pretty quick, you know, and we wanted to go and sign up for a couple of things that you need to do on board. You cannot sign up for what we wanted to sign up was for the chef's table and for the ultimate ship tour, which I ended up not taking. Did sign up for it, but I ended up not taking because I had a guy stomp on my, never mind. I just couldn't take it. So, okay, so we got on this bus, and thankfully, Chris and I we're the first ones on the bus, and we sat down in the front seat. And we normally don't do that. We'll usually, you know, scooter on back to middle of the bus or something, but just something that day told us we're going to just go ahead and sit on the front seat. And I'm glad we did, because there would have been people coming and going. It was a mess. So I was not too thrilled with that transfer bus. I mean, of course, it got us there in plenty of time. The bus driver was lovely. In fact, I felt sorry for him because he had to stop at so many places and maneuver that bus into small spaces, and it was difficult. So, but we got to the ship, I guess or not to the ship, but to Port Everglades. Here's a couple of pictures of our journey there. Port Everglades Cruise Terminal. So as I say, we got there about 10:30, and we just were, you know, you're hustled and bustled in there, you know, and they take your luggage right from the bus. The bus pulls up, and the Princess folks are right there, and they take your luggage. Thank goodness, you know, they're awesome. Princess Cruises is awesome, and I'm sure other cruise lines are similar. We have not cruised with anybody but Princess, so I cannot be happier, and we don't want to leave Princess so much because of the loyalty level, because with each level you get more perks and so on and so forth. So we were let off the bus and led into the cruise port. This is the first time I'd ever been to this cruise port, and we were led through security, you know, much like you do at an airport. You don't have to take your shoes off, but you know, you do have to take your you know, your jewelry, any metal off, you know, or anything, and clean out your pockets. You don't have to take your laptops out like you do at the airport. Something. Well, we have TSA. We're TSA pre-check. We have that. We did that last fall before we went to, or last summer really, before we went to Alaska, and that really helps. Although if I had to choose it again, I'd choose the global entry and not the TSA, and we'll do that the next time. It lasts for 5 years. So global entry will do it globally, whereas TSA just handles the United States, I believe. Regardless of all that, that's a video for another day. We were escorted into the cruise terminal and into a place to sit to wait until they were ready to let us embark on the ship. So we waited there, maybe a half an hour or so, not very long, you know, and then we went on the ship. And now I'm not going to give you every moment of everything that we did. I'm going to talk about that more in my blog, where I do like embarkation day, and then I do the first day of the cruise, and I go through the cruise daily. I don't want to do that here. I don't want to talk your all's ear off and say things when I can't show you pictures while I'm talking about it and stuff like that. It's difficult. I wish I had a program where I could flash pictures up while I'm talking and just leave it there and let y'all look at it while I'm talking, but I don't know how to do that yet, so. But anyway, so we got on board, and then all of us met we couldn't get in our rooms yet. That was another thing. That was the first time that had ever happened. We were not going to be able to be in our staterooms until 1 o'clock. So they had one of the main dining rooms open for lunch. So we, trekked right on over there, all 8 of us, and they sat us right down, and we had a lovely lunch, which I'll show you pictures of in my blog. I'm not going to worry you with that now. We had a lovely lunch, and then by the time we were finished with lunch, it was time to go to our stateroom. And Chris and I this time had a suite. Oh my goodness. Now we had a suite on the second portion of our back-to-back Voyage of the Glaciers cruise, and we had gotten that suite for a song. Didn't cost us much to upgrade to that suite, much more than we would have for the mini suite that we had paid for. We had originally, when we booked this cruise, we booked a mini suite, and they got in touch with us after Christmas and asked us if we, for a nominal fee, and it was not an exorbitant amount, but no, I'm not going to say how much it was. For a nominal fee each, we could upgrade to a suite. So that's exactly what we did. And we got to choose our suite. It was any suite on the ship for that, in this category, which I'm not going to go into all that. It was a penthouse suite, but don't read into the penthouse name, you know. It was just a suite, one of their suites. Well, we chose, in Alaska, we will never choose an aft suite. I mean, meaning a suite that's right on the aft of the ship where you can look out and see the wake. We won't choose that in Alaska, because when you go to the glaciers, and there's too many times in Alaska when you're doing scenic cruising or when you're doing wildlife sightings where I like to be on the side of the ship so you can look up and down the side of the ship. Now this balcony did have we might do this ship because this balcony did have a side portion where you could go across to the side. But I'll show you some pictures of our suite, which was amazing. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe our luck, and I couldn't believe that we were actually, I had to pinch myself several times because, guys, we don't get suites, you know, that often. Anyway, here's our room. be looking for another video. I usually put up stateroom tours. So I will put up a stateroom tour of that room when I get to it. I've got so much going on. Oh my goodness. But you know, on we went through our cruise. As I say, I'm not going to lament on each day, every hour of each day, like I will in my blog. But I did want to show you, if I can find it, that is my embarkation, the princess patter. I wanted to give you an example of a princess patter. And I wanted to tell you what our itinerary was going to be. This is the princess patter. This is the informational newspaper that gives you an hourly, let me open it up here, hourly breakdown of what's going on the ship. I think that's our itinerary. You can see I highlighted something there, but you can see it gives you an hourly breakdown of what's going on in the ship that day. It also gives you a dining guide. Every single one of them has a dining guide on the back, and it will tell you, like the International Cafe is on the Royal Princess, on every ship except for the Island and another one, I think. I can't remember. But the International Cafe is open 24 hours a day. Chris loves the International Cafe because he gets up super early in the morning and goes and gets his first cup of coffee and pastry from there, and he gets to know the fellas that work there, and he's Mr. Popular there at the International Cafe after about the first morning. But there are many different eating venues. They also tell you which eating venues are for anytime dining or traditional dining. You can either choose to do anytime dining, which means you can dine anytime when the restaurant is open or when the main dining room is open. Traditional seating means that you need to go at the same time to the same dining room every single day. So we always choose anytime dining because we never know what our excursions, you know, are going to be doing. And I don't like to be, you know, beholden to some kind of time to eat, you know. So that's just my opinion. There are also two specialty restaurants on board, and we did both of those restaurants. One was, I don't know who did it or how we got it, but we were given a free, like a gift from Princess. Now I had called them and told them I was coming, and was there anything that they wanted me to talk about, being that I'm a, you know, travel blogger or whatever. So maybe that's why it didn't. Anyway, we were walking out to go to the specialty restaurant, and here comes our steward, Kaleem, and he said, "Hey, Miss Arlene, here, I have this for you." And I said, "What is this, Kaleem?" And he says, "I don't know, ma'am, you need to open it." And it was a complimentary specialty dining pass. And I was like, wow. And then because we had a suite, we got a free night at Sabatini's, which is the other. We did the Crown Grill that night, which is like a steakhouse, and then Sabatini's is kind of their Italian restaurant. But anyway, there you can see all of their restaurants that they have. And there's all their bars and lounges that we really did not frequent, but there's plenty there if you're interested, you know. And it gives us our itinerary here, which I will go through and tell you what our itinerary was. And that's how I'll talk to you. I'll talk you through our itinerary, and then I'm going to show you some things that I purchased while on board. I didn't really purchase anything at the ports, you know, so I'm just going to go through this itinerary and talk a little bit about it, and then I'll show you what I bought. Okay. Saturday, March 10th was Port Everglades. That's where we embarked. The dress for that night was smart casual, which means, you know, nice slacks for ladies, even a nice pair of jeans. You can get away with a nice pair of jeans or capris, you know, nicely dressed like you would if you were going to go out to dinner to a decent restaurant in town, you know, something that's smart casual. And then that was Saturday. Then Sunday, March 11th was Princess K, or Key, I don't know how you pronounce K, C-A-Y-S, I think it's Keys. That is Princess's private island. And unfortunately, that was going to be a tender port, meaning that they would get the little lifeboats down and take you in those little boats to shore. Unfortunately for us, the weather was really bad that morning. Wind was howling, thunderstorms coming through all day long. It was terrible, 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 terrible weather. So it did not surprise us when the captain came on and says, "Sorry, folks, we are not going to be able to get you over to the island today," which was fine with us. I was just going to go over there and take some pictures anyway for you guys. So, for my blog. So I wasn't too concerned, other than I'm interested to see what's over there, but it was no big deal. With cruising, you have to be ready for things to change like this for different port. You might go to a different port. You might have a port canceled because of weather. They don't, Princess cannot control, the captain cannot control the weather. These people that complain about that kind of thing really kind of aggravate me, because it's not like the captain planned to have a nasty day to go to, their private island. I mean, it just happens that way. And I'd rather them err on the side of safety than not, So that ended up to be a sea day, which was fine. And we just, spent time together, and oh my goodness, we just had a big time. It was no big deal. Trust me, there's plenty to do on the beautiful Royal Princess. Trust me. Then the next day was an at-sea day, was a real at-sea day. Then Tuesday, March 13th, we stopped at St. Thomas. And again, I'm not going to lament too long on the islands. You could see that there was some hurricane damage at this island, but it was lovely. The water is so pretty, and it was a lovely little island. We had a good time. We got off, and again, I'll lament more about that in my blog. And then Wednesday, March 14th, we stopped at Martinique. A lot of French influence there. Again, I did not get off here. Chris did though, but I didn't. There wasn't anything I was real interested in. We didn't have any excursions planned or anything, so I didn't get off. Then Thursday, we were in Grenada. I did get off in Grenada. I'll tell you more about that in my blog. There was another cruise ship in port with us on that day, and it was a busy, busy, busy. But again, I'll lament more about that in my blog. Then Friday, March 16th, we were in Behr, and that is where we took a glass bottom boat cruise, little excursion. And then Saturday, March 17th was St. Patrick's Day, and we were in Aruba, and we did get off in Aruba and do a few things. And then I have some pictures that I'll put here of the 4 of us ladies all dressed up in a little bit of St. Patrick's Day costuming, not costuming, but just garb, Here you go, I'll show you a few pictures of that. And then Sunday, March 18th and Monday, March 19th were both sea days. And then Tuesday, March the 20th was disembarkation day. So 10-day cruise. And it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. And I'm trying to think what else I could tell you about. I've got the whole log of the cruise here. Captain Tony Draper is the captain of the Royal Princess. The Royal Princess, I don't know whether it says here. This is just the ship's, their log book. Port Everglades, Princess Cay's. This morning we arrived at the southern anchorage point at 8:32 a.m. But unfortunately, due to adverse weather conditions, heavy rain and strong wind, up to 30 to 35 knots. I don't know how fast that is. Sam's dreaming. The captain and the bridge team decided to abort the call and headed towards Charlotte St. Thomas. So, yeah. Temperature was warm. Temperature was 77. That's the other thing. The temperature was I mean, other than that one day, and then the next sea day, it was a little rocky. Not too bad, not too bad. My land, we've been in worse seas before, but it was a little rocky, to be sure, because of the rain and all the storms coming through. And here, when you first get on board, they give you a welcome aboard. Royal Princess, we're delighted to host you on board and are here to help you with any questions or needs you might have during your voyage with us. They give you dining choices, and they talk about their service charge, and you know, their smoking policy, wake-up calls, bathrobes, pool towels, lounging on the deck. You know, they tell you all about, I mean, you are trust me, well informed. And of course, you know, I'm going to warn you all, if none of you have cruised before, the one thing that they do on these ships is try to sell you stuff. They try to sell you jewelry. They try to sell you, you know, they talk about their ports, and they give you suggestions for like Diamonds International and that kind of thing. And you know what? You don't have to listen to it. All you have to do is say, they don't come up to you and go, hey, hey, hey. No. They send you paperwork in your, you know, and which I'm sure I have something here somewhere. Hang on. Actually, I don't know that I do. I might have thrown it away just because I don't pay attention to it, you know. But here's my folder in one of them. I have 3 here in full use, but as you can see, I utilize, there's my princess pattern. My princess pattern, everything for the day is in, you know, each file folder. And that's when I go to blog, I'll take pictures of my princess pattern, and I'll go through the blog, you know, I'll go through everything that I have in my pocket for the day, and I will go through the pictures of the day, and that will refresh my memory, you know, of what happened on the day. And that's how I do my blog, you know. So, okay, there's a few things I want to share with you. I'm already 30 minutes into this. So I did want to, you know, talk for hours and hours on this. To say that we had a lovely time is an understatement. We really did have a wonderful time with our friends. And as far as the Caribbean is concerned, this, again, as you all know, most of you know, this was our first Caribbean cruise. And I'm not sure that unless we would do something with friends again, that Chris and I would choose to go back to the Caribbean on a cruise ship. It was all right, but Alaska for me was much better. For me personally, just because I love Alaska. Alaska is the bee's knees for me, you know. And as I said the other day, I ruined myself with Alaska. We shouldn't have done that first, you know. But you know, it was lovely. Weather was gorgeous. Got a little kiss of a suntan, not much. I put sunscreen on. I don't like to get really dark anymore like I did as a kid. I protect my skin more now than I did as a child. I wish we had known, those of us in our 50s and 60s and 70s had known, you know, the dangers when we were kids. You know, my mom thankfully did make me put sunscreen on, but anyway, I'm trying to think here. Let me show you a couple of pictures that I have not scanned in and Chris will kill me, but I'm going to show you real quick. This is us at the Crown Grill one night. And then we did the chef's table, and I am so mad at myself because I forgot my camera. I forgot to take my camera that night. I never forget my camera. Never, ever, ever. I never go anywhere without my camera, or at least my phone. And of course, we didn't have internet, so I didn't have my phone. We were rushing out. I didn't think to pick up my camera. So I don't have pictures of the chef's dinner, but I do have a cookbook. Check it out. I was given the cookbook signed, let's see if I can find his signature here, by the chef somewhere. Signed by the chef. And I asked him, I said, I forgot to bring my camera, but I am going to be blogging about the chef's table. I said, would you mind terribly if I, you know, showed your cookbook and said your name and whatever? And he said, of course not. He was Italian. Of course not. Send me a link. So he gave me his card. So it is Giovanni Sisto. That's his name. That was the chef on board the Royal Princess. So it's his email. So I will send him a link. He's the executive chef on Princess Cruises. He was a card. Let me tell you, he was Mr. Personality Plus. And I'll tell you a little bit about the chef's dinner. I'm not going to go on and lament forever, but you start out in the piazza, which is the big central area in the cruise. And the ship. And I'll be honest with you, Barbara, the one that's not the sister, had done this on another cruise before, and she said first thing they'll do is they'll put a lab coat on you because they're going to escort you through the galley and give you like a little tour of the galley. Do y'all know what I stressed about? I stressed about whether that lab coat would fit me, because I'm a big lady, you know, and I thought, oh my land, I'm probably the biggest person that they've seen. They probably won't have a lab coat to fit me. Well, you guys, whoever picked the jackets, they had like a rack of them there, and I could see, you know, these two guys over there kind of eyeing us up and down. All this, not in a, just trying to figure out what size we were. Well, I was the first one they brought a coat to, and it fit like a glove. I was so relieved. Isn't that dumb? But I was so relieved that it fit, you know? Anyway, so I've been working on my weight since I got home. We're not going to talk about that. We're not even going to go there, but yeah. Anyway, so everybody got their lab coats on, so we followed the maitre d'hotel, head guy on the ship, and here we went, walking right through everybody, and they're looking at us like, where are these people going with these lab coats on, you know? And took us right to the galley, and we enjoyed 5 appetizers. And I'm thinking, oh my land. And he's like, now you need to try these, you know, 1 bite, you need to try them. And I'm like, hey, I'm pretty adventurous, but some things I'm not so adventurous. And everything was wonderful. Everything was wonderful. Here are the appetizers he served. Appetizers served in the galley. Well, they gave us a menu of everything. You can pause your computer, but there are the appetizers. They gave us wine. I did not drink it, but it came with it. So it was like, okay, but I didn't, you know, partake. But that's the whole menu for everything. And you, like I say, you can pause your computer and take a look at that if you want. I'll try to take a picture of it and flash it up here for you too. But as I read through these appetizers, the lobster, avocado, and mango margarita, I didn't know it was a margarita. Well, it was a bite of food. It wasn't a drink. So it was delicious, though. I'll tell you, I had that. That was delicious. Next one was smoked salmon and lemon cream cheese ketta caviar. When he said caviar, I'm like, I know that's fish eggs. Oh, dear Lord. You couldn't tell. It was delicious, you guys. Delicious. Delicious. Next one was beef tartare with horseradish. Now, that one, now, y'all, I eat my steak rare. I mean, I like it mooing, really and truly. I do. I eat it rare. Bluer the better. But this beef tartare, it was like ground beef, you know, and I don't eat my ground beef rare. And I'm like, I'm looking at this 1 bite, and I'm like, do I need to eat this? And I asked him, I said, do I need to eat this in 1 bite? And he said, oh, no, 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 honey, you take 2. And I was like, okay, good. So I'm like, I don't know if I'll take the second. Well, I ate it, and it was good. It tasted good. It tasted really good. The texture kind of got me on that one. That's the only thing throughout the entire menu. Everything was awesome. Oh, my gosh. The next one was panko-coated black tiger prawns. They were served on a skewer. This prawn was like as big as my land, bigger, two of my fingers. and it was on a skewer and in panko flakes. Oh my goodness, that was my favorite. My favorite. And then the last, well, no, I'm lying. This was my favorite. That was my second to favorite. This was my favorite. Fontina cheese and white truffle mini quiche. I would like to have about 5 of them right now, please. Thank you very much, chef, wherever you are. Oh, that was so good. Oh my goodness. And then we went, oh, he took us, then we were escorted out of the galley. And of course he told us all stories about, you know, what happened in the galley and what they did and where they came from and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. And then we were escorted into one of the main dining rooms, into a big table. It was a big round table for 10. There were only 10 of us, and I believe they only did it once on the ship, one time on the ship. So you need to go, if you want to do the chef's table, you need to go straight to passenger services when you board the ship and sign up for it. You have to do, you can't do it before the cruise. You have to do it right when you step on board. So then we were led into this big table, and they pulled, it was like curtains down, but it was like, where is it? I have a picture. There we are. You see this stuff back here? This is like shimmery. And there's the chef. Oh my Lord, I look at sight, but there's the chef. And then that's the Maître d'Hôtel Hotel, Nikolai something or another. I can't remember his name. I think it's here on the menu. Nicola Furlan. So it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Best experience I think I've ever had on a cruise ship. Now it's pricey. It was like $115 a person, I think. But we did 2 very cheap excursions. I ended up not doing the ultimate ship tour, so I didn't get charged for that. And you know, it was well worth every penny. Every penny, you guys. I mean, you can go to a really nice restaurant and spend $100 like they split, you know. This was super nice, super, super nice. So I did want to tell you about that a little bit. Now, let me go through and show you what I bought. First of all, I want to show you something that I was given. I'm going to show you, you know, when you get on board these ships, you have a ship card. Here's my ship card. And also on my ship card, you can see that I have a sticker. Well, that sticker means that I purchased before the cruise a soda and more card, which meant that I could have unlimited fountain sodas for the cruise and certain juices and mocktails, mocktails, all the mocktails that I wanted, and which I never had one. And now that I think about it, and milkshakes on some ships. I didn't try it on this ship, but milkshakes from the Swirls ice cream place on some ships. And as you can see, we have a silver card because we are platinum cruisers. When we move up a level, we'll be going to elite. Whoopee, that just means we spent a copious amount of money on cruises. But I wanted to show you my lanyard. And I wanted to first of all, I want to show you this little bell. Pat, one of the ladies that we were there, this is called a guardian bell. Isn't that pretty? It looks like Brighton. And the very first thing I thought of when I opened it, of course I cried when I opened it. And the very first thing I thought of was I am going to hang that on my lanyard, on all my lanyards moving forward for every cruise that I ever take in the future. I'm going to have this little bell. And trust me, I got some comments on having the bell. But I also wear a lanyard holder because Princess is coming out with something called the Ocean Medallion. And eventually you're not going to, I used to punch a hole in my card, and then just hang it on the hook. But Princess is going to this Ocean Medallion, and it's like interactive, I don't know what all, but I'm not going to be able to punch a hole in my card anymore. So I went ahead and bought some these are like ID holders. I got them off of Amazon. And then my lanyards, I got 2, and I got them off of Amazon too, very cheap. Take it back off. But your ship card gets you in your room. You show it if you want, you know, at specialty restaurants, if you have to pay more. There's a $29 cover charge. You show your card. If you drink alcohol, you need to show your card, you know, so they can, you know, write down the drink you had or whatever. If you don't have a soda and more card, they record that. You know what I mean? It is your lifeline. If in the shops, that's what you use. You have your credit card attached to your cruise card, and you use your cruise card in all the shops on board, and you know, which are all duty free. But you know, that's how they keep track. And then you get a folio, what they call a folio, at the end of your cruise, and it shows you. And you can check your folio while you're on board, which I highly recommend you do, because there are always mistakes. There can be mistakes made, and it's easier to, you know, address those mistakes with passenger services while you're still on board the ship. If you catch one, you know, Chris got charged a bar drink one time. He's like, I didn't have that, you know, so he went to passenger services and they took it right off. Yes, sir, no problem. You know, they took it right off. So, but I did want to show you this lanyard up close here. That's one of them. Wait a minute, this is where I put all my lanyards. But these worked out really, really well. Here's my other one. And all of these little centerpieces pop out. See that? They pop out. And of course I've got green or blue in that one. And I've got pink in this one. And then you can pick, I have a whole little case of the other colors that came along with them. Black and red and here's just one that's just crystals and green. So I'm all about matching my lanyard with my outfit of the day, you know. I'm a nutcase, I'll tell you. But I have to say, Barbara and Pat had done the same thing, and we had not discussed it. It was cute. It was cute. I said, oh. So they just clip right in, you know, so you're able to change them every day. So just a little something, little tips that I've gathered through the years, you know. We will talk about what I purchased while on board. Sam, what you doing, bud? Hi, bud. You sitting up, bud? What's going on? You hot? Looks a little warm, doesn't he? All right, let me move my folders here. Okay, first thing I bought, just because I think he's really cute, and I bought one in Alaska, and I will buy one more when I'm in Alaska too the next time. But I bought Stanley, the stowaway bear. Is he not cute? Princess came out with this, I think last year in Alaska, and he's wearing like buffalo plaid. So I got him last year, but here he is in his captain's outfit, and he is soft and very lightweight and very smushable. So I did not have a problem smushing him in my suitcase to come home. Maybe I should move back over to the middle now that Sam has decided to get up and move, huh? Now, I didn't buy a ton this time. I didn't buy anything when I was off the ship. Not one. Here's the story of Stanley the Stowaway Bear. Hang on. My name is Stanley. The crew gave me this name in recognition of the founder of Princess Cruises, Stanley B. McDonald. And I belong to, hello. It's the end of the Alaska season, and a curious teenage bear doesn't want to hibernate. He climbs aboard a princess ship and starts to wander. Not paying attention, he steps in fresh paint and discovers he has a princess. He has aboard fresh paint and discovers he has a princess on his paw. This is a sea witch. It's called a princess sea witch. Then, startled by a horn, he looks up over the rail as he sees his home shrinking in the distance. Tears well up in his eyes, but a young child gives him a big, warm hug and asks the bear if they can sail around the world together. So you can buy Stanley the Stowaway Bear on any princess ship that you might be cruising on. And I just think he's adorable, and I set him in on my cedar chest in our bedroom. And I'll get another one from Alaska too when we go the next time. So anyway, thought he was super cute. Had to get me Stanley. So I got him very first day we were on board. Like they were going to run out, but you know. Then they always have sales on board. It's either a $10 sale, everything $10, or 75% off sale, or whatever. I went to the $10 sale and picked myself up a couple of, guess what, scarves, because as I've told you in the past, that's where I buy my scarves. So this is one, which I thought was really pretty. And this is the other one. I didn't pick up, I'll go out and get Candace's gifts. I fibbed so much. I did stop, I think I got this in St. Thomas. I did get a magnet, because I always like to get a magnet from our cruises. So I did get a magnet, I think at St. Thomas. I did pick that up. And then I showed you, I always get one of these for each ship that we sail on. It's because I like to have all the information. 141,000 gross tonnage, 23 knots cruising speed. It's 1,082 feet in length. The thing is massive. This thing has 19 decks. It's huge, huge and gorgeous and just awesome. So then they have a shop where you can buy makeup. And as I've mentioned this in the past, that I don't usually buy my makeup. I sometimes will give a list to Chris at Christmas time if we don't have a cruise coming up. But usually I wait until we're on our cruise ships to buy my makeup from Clinique, because they always have a really nice selection and really good prices. They're really good. They're less than what I can buy them here in the on land. But I got, this is my Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion with Pump. I'll take it out of the box here in a second. I got 3 of these because it was buy 2 get 1 or something like that. I can't remember what the deal was, but this is it. I've now got 4. So I'm not sure if I'll need to buy it on our next cruise, but I mean, I go through 2 of these probably in a year. So, you know, I'm pretty dry after menopause. So I got 3 of those. And I picked up a compact. I needed a new compact, you know. Don't need to get shiny. Goodness. Little compact, and I wear matte beige. And then I got 3 more things. I got some mascara. This is the kind of mascara I like. I got High Impact Black Mascara. And I'm going to keep this in the box. I got me some concealer. And I got me some lipstick. The one I have on, which I have that back in my, I didn't bring it out here, but I also got this one, which I think is really pretty. I don't want to, brightens things up a little bit, doesn't it? But this one, this color is Sprinkle Pop. She said this one was discontinued, I believe. It was in a little bowl. They had a bunch of colors. This is the one I chose. So that's the makeup that I got. I wanted to get eyeliner. I get the eyeliner that screws up, but they didn't have any. So let me go get 2 more things that I got for Candace and Kristen. Kristen took hers home. And I'll show you what I got for Candace. I don't think she'll watch this. She may, but it's not a surprise because I always bring them home something. And then I'll tell you a little story what Chris did for me. So I'll be right back. 2 seconds. I got my other little pants on today. I wanted to show you those. Aren't they cute? These are the most comfy pants, I'll tell you. All right. Okie dokie. In that sale, the same sale where I got the scarves, I also got one of these for each girl. And it's just a little, like a little manicure set. So I thought that was super cute. They had it all in all kinds of different, like the cases were all different colors, and really cute, little padded case. So it's really cute. So that's one thing. So I just got that like on a whim when I was in there one day. Just that there's, and they have these sales all the time. I tried to get to, they had a sale one day at the piazza, in the piazza. And it was a t-shirt sale, like t-shirts for $6.99. Pat and I walked in there and we stood there for about 10 minutes and walked right back out. It was ridiculous. You could not get, and those people are not very nice sometimes. Those people trying to get to those sales, you know? It's like, I don't need a t-shirt that bad, people. Really? Oh my goodness. So they were not pleasant. So we walked on out of there pretty quick. So anyway, this was one thing. And then I got Kristen and her, Candace, a pair of earrings each. So I thought they were really pretty. Kristen's were kind of more round, but dangly too. So I thought they were pretty. Just to say, Mom and Dad cruised, here's a pair of earrings for you, you know. I try to always bring them back something, you know. And these were no cheap thing. These were like $46, no, $45. So, and it's a certain kind of stone that I cannot remember right now. Paul shell, P-A-U-A shell, made in New Zealand. Maybe you Aussies would know, huh? Okay, now let me tell you a little story. Pat and I were just doing a little shopping one day. You know, we were just, I don't know where everybody else was. Everybody else was doing other things, and she and I just happened to meet. We didn't plan to shop together. We just happened to meet in the shops. So, and I was walking around and I said, oh my goodness, I just love this purse. Y'all know I love my Brighton, you know? And I've never, ever, ever, ever wanted to drop the money that you need to drop to buy a Brighton purse. I mean, they are expensive. But check this out. I saw this and I said, oh, Pat, I love this. I love this. This is a little crossbody bag. It's got a strap in one of these pockets. Here it is. It's a little crossbody bag. Looks to be adjustable, and it comes with that pocket, and then this, you know, for your credit cards and your change in the middle, and it's magnetized, and this is big enough to fit my iPhone, you know, to fit one of my phones. And I said, Pat, I can't. It was like, it was expensive. And I said, I just cannot spend the money on this. It also has another little back pouch that has a magnet on it. She says, okay, I understand. And the lady at the counter said, you want me to hold it for you? And I went, oh no, I don't want to, you know. And I said, just put it on hold. You know, you just never know if you change your mind. And I said, yeah, that's true. Well, little did I know, little Miss Pat went and found Chris and said, hey, she put a little bug in his ear. Hey, Arlene put this little purse back in one of the shops and told him what shop and everything. And do you know what? The next morning, here walks in Chris to our stateroom with this in hand. I was like, really? Oh my goodness. So now you guys, I got me a Brighton purse, and I feel like I am just, it's just a little one. Trust me, you don't want to have to buy one of the bigger ones. It's just a little one, but I've really been enjoying carrying crossbodies. So I will take this from now on my little cruises to do my, you know, my crossbody. I took my Behr, where is it? I brought it out here to show you guys. I never did. is it? Here it is. This is my mirror that I took this time, which worked out really well. It kind of has a pocket like that. And, you know, it's a crossbody. And it's got, you know, for credit cards and whatnot. And I really enjoyed carrying this. But from now on, I think I'll carry this. It's very nice. So I love it. I love it. And with the bag came a tote bag, a Brighton, I haven't opened it yet, Brighton tote bag. My land, that is retailed at $100. And he said he got it for free with the bag. Wow. Look at that. He said he got it for free. It is really nice. It's like a canvas. It's big too, my goodness. It's a big tote bag. It's got Brighton down in the corner. You know, so he spoiled me. What can I say? I'm in love with my little Brighton purse. I just think it is adorable. And I think I might switch to it and use it for a while. But I didn't want to do it until I showed you guys. But it's soft and supple, and it'll last me for the rest of my life, you guys. This is a pretty little red purse. Y'all know how I love red. So, and it came with its own bag, which somebody told me, I don't know whether it was one of you guys, somebody told me that putting the purses back in the bags is not necessarily a good thing, especially if you live in a humid climate, because it can collect humidity and not be good for the purses. So I don't know. Sometimes I put them in and sometimes I don't. You know, I don't have that many bags that have bags with them though. So, but anyway, that's a little bit about our cruise. And like I said, I'm not sure. Oh, I wanted to show you this too. We did go have a ladies' pamper party. The four of us went and we had little facials done. And no, I didn't buy any makeup after I'm done because I'm so locked in. They said, how many of you, they asked questions, how many of you have used the same makeup for 30 years? And I'm like, me. And they went, how many of you have changed out your lotions for different lotions and tried different things? And I'm like, not me. Well, they said, you should really change out your lotions and you should really change out this. And I'm thinking, honey, I'm not changing anything, you know, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? So I did the facial and had to wash it, and the cosmetics are lovely. Don't get me wrong. I'm just super duper duper sensitive. But anyway, we had a really good time going to get some facials and listening to, you know, how to take care of your skin. And the crew on board the Royal, on every princess ship, honest to goodness, that I've ever been on, are just phenomenal. They are just, everybody is so kind. Our steward, Kaleem, was so kind. And, you know, again, if you're kind to people, you will bring kindnesses back to you. Chris and I are always, always, always trying to be super duper cordial and, you know, how are you today? What can we do to help you? You know, saying please and thank you and being gracious. And it's funny, when you adopt that attitude, you get that attitude back, you know? And there were some grumpy dumpy people on there. I mean, the passengers, not the crew, the passengers. You'd get on an elevator and Chris kept saying, he said to me a couple times, he said, some of these people are kind of in the middle of the road. They don't know whether they're going to have a good day or a bad day. And, you know, you hesitate to talk to them, but sometimes when you do talk to them, they perk up and say, oh, well, whatever. But man, some of them were looking pretty miserable. I was like, cheer up, people. You're on a cruise ship, for crying out loud. Be happy, you know? You're in the Caribbean. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy, you know? I don't know. You know, who knows what's going on in people's minds? We don't know, you know, and I'm certainly not one to judge people. I don't. I felt sorry for them that they weren't a little happier to be where they were, you know, but regardless. Alrighty, I'm going to I'm going to hush up. This is 2 videos this week that have gone almost an hour or over an hour. I don't know. I'm at an hour 5. I may cut some of this, but I got to add pictures and stuff. So I'm probably going to be at about an hour. So my apologies to y'all for having two long videos in a week. I hope that I didn't bore you too much in this one, and I hope I wasn't too discombobulated. Please do read my blog. For those of you who are not subscribed, I will start this blog in the next few weeks probably. I'm trying not to push myself too much, you know, to do it, but I do want to get it started and get rolling on it. And probably I'm going to be working on my wardrobe and packing video next, so that will probably go up, I don't even know, sometime soon. I got to do that next, and then I have a couple of stateroom tours videos that I'll probably get up, and after I get all of that footage taken care of, I'll probably start my blog. Because of some of my blog, I also have footage in my blog, but not to make videos out of, you know, necessarily, but just to add, to augment my blogs. So anyway, I'm rambling. What's new? If y'all have any questions that you think I can answer, certainly, you know, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll be glad to try to answer your questions. Again, I'm not a cruiser of any other cruise line, so I would not be able to answer any other questions for any other cruise lines. I would probably be able to answer princess related, you know, cruising, not destinations and that kind of thing. If you are interested in taking a cruise with Princess or any other cruise line, I would highly suggest a travel agent, because they know the ins and outs of the cruise lines and what they offer and where they go and what their itineraries are and their airfares and all that stuff that goes all along with cruising. You don't have to spend any money to get a travel agent. They don't cost you. They don't take a commission. They don't, you know, the company, whoever they, like I have a couple, but my main travel agent works for cruise.com, you know, so, and she's wonderful. And I've had her for ever since our first, well, no, she didn't do our first cruise, from her second cruise on. But I highly suggest a travel agent, you know, if you're interested in taking a cruise. But if you think I have the answers to some questions, feel free to ask me and I'll be glad to try. Disclaimer, I do not work for Princess Cruises. So everything I'm telling you here is just from my own personal experience and my own personal cruising experience. They are a wonderful cruise line, though, I will say that. And we will probably not stray from them, honestly. So I do have several different platforms that you can, you know, find me on. And I normally don't give all this information, but I will put it in the description. But I have Arlene's Travels YouTube channel, Arlene's Country Craft Corner YouTube channel, Country Craft Corner, my blog. I'm also on Instagram at Arlene's Country Craft Corner. Most of that is my crafting, though, for those of you who just follow me on my travels. So, but anyway, that's it. I really am going to hush up now because I've been talking a long time. Let me just pause here and say that I hope all is well with everyone, that everyone's health is going along as it should and as is expected, and that nobody has anything nagging at their, poking at them or nagging at them that is pulling their attention away from what it should be focused on or what you want to be focused on. And with that, I'll just say, until next time, y'all take good care. Bye-bye.